happened over the last 90 decades.
90 decades.
I mean, 9 decades. Please.
She put props. She put props.
So I didn't check my facts. I just took the website as is. So, all right, 1910 to 1919, which I don't expect you to remember any. World War I, jazz becomes popular. Oliver Twist came out 1912. The first
bit before my time.
Little bit. The first crossword puzzle, 1913. The bra was invented, 1913.
I told you.
Figure. Pyrex came out, 1915. The first pop-up toaster in 1919. And then the 19th Amendment was put into Congress.
Which was what?
Women's rights? Yep. All right, 1920 to 1929, and these, you should have some memories, so if any of these sound about, have any stories, I always love stories, so. Egypt becomes independent, the prohibition of alcohol, organized crime increased because of the prohibition for alcohol. The first commercial radio station in Pittsburgh came from Pittsburgh. Hez Candy in 1927. Who? Hez, with the little head,
The head and you push them up and
Oh, I know what you mean.
That was 1927. Bubble gum was invented in 1928.
Oh, gosh. Actually, can I just say a word?
Absolutely.
Harry used to sleep in a 4-poster bed. And he would take his water bubble gum and stick it on the ceiling.
yeah.
Wasn't there a song?
Does your chewing lose its flavor?
We're going to lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight.
Based on true events. The first part talkie was the jazz singer in 1927. The first all-talking feature was the Lights of New York in 1928. No? The yo-yo, 1929.
That I remember.
Yo-yo.
The first color talking feature, On with the Show, in 1929. Adhesive bandages in 1921. The Band-Aid. The cotton swab in 1923. The electric razor. Sunglasses in 1929, which I can't imagine not having. You remember that? Electric razors? Sunglasses? I can't imagine living without sunglasses. The recliner chair.
What's
The one thing I do remember.
Move to Jersey, you won't have to worry about sunglasses.
Oh, okay. Or well, until today, I was
When
thinking.
Uncle Adolph brought us our first big radio, and he had sat it in the dining room on top of the china closet, and he had turned the volume up so high you could hear it all the way under the railroad bridge.
1930 to 1939, air-mail service across the Atlantic. The Great Depression affects the economy. Radio becomes dominant. The first intercontinental commercial flight. Amelia Earhart receives attention. Swing music becomes popular.
What kind of music?
Swing.
Now I'm just getting familiar.
Gone with the Wind and the Wizard of Oz.
Absolutely.
The discovery of Pluto.
Pluto the dog, you mean?
Pluto the planet.
The X-Planet.
The X-Planet. Chocolate chip cookies. Which again, how do you chocolate chip cookies?
What
was the date on that? 1930. And apparently that was the first chocolate chip as well. So they came up with the chocolate chip and then the chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, they didn't take long then.
The Empire State Building opens in 1931. Scotch tape and the tape dispenser in 1932. Trampolines and the shopping carts in 1937. 1940 to 49, World War II, the Cold War and the Holocaust, the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. deodorant in 1941.
About them before?
Apparently not. The microwave oven in 1945. Hairspray in 1948. 1950 to 59, we had the Korean War, racial segregation, a juvenile delinquency epidemic. Frank Sinatra and Perry Como. Rock emerges with Buddy Holly, Elvis, and Johnny Cash. The first organ transplants in 1954, and the polio vaccine.
Polio.
I put down polo, but I probably messed that one up pretty good, yeah. Then I didn't check any facts, I just wrote Catcher in the Rye and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
That was the first one?
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye. Esme?
TV boomed with I Love Lucy, The Adventures of Robin Hood, Dragnet, Captain Kangaroo, and Romper Room. The TV dinner to become popular in 1953. Wiffle ball.
What do we do with that one?
I have hula hoop and frisbee, but I have a date not in this area, so I don't know what I did on that one. Lincoln Logs, The Viewmaster, and Candyland.
What are Lincoln Logs?
Lincoln Logs were the before Legos.
They're little wooden things you can build. They're fun.
Credit cards started, and barcodes became popular on items, and disposable diapers. Those were, I didn't put an exact year, but in the 50s. 1960 to 69, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the assassination of JFK, Martin Luther King, and Robert Kennedy. First birth control for women. Touch-tone telephones, home video recorder, the first human on the moon, the summer of love, Beatles, Bob Dylan and the Beach Boys, breakfast at Tiffany's, and To Kill a Mockingbird. 1970 to 79 was the feminist movement, the African American Civil Rights Movement, oil crisis. Sears Tower was the world's largest building when it opened in 73. Jaws was the movie. The pocket calculator and video games started. TV shows, Partridge Family, Ed Sullivan Show, Red Skelton, Family Feud, The Price is Right, and the Sonny and Cher comedy album. 1980 to 89 was the war on drugs and the famous Just Say No campaign. Opposition to nuclear power plants, the Chernobyl accident in 86, Pac-Man and Super Mario Brothers, and home computers. 1990 to 99, and I think that's as far as I went, North American Free Trade Act, the World Wide Web becomes popular. The Hubble Space Telescope launched, the first MP3 player, and pagers and mobile phones became popular. And then, of course, the Y2K fear before we went into the boom. As far as I went.